I
You have
didn't have to
actually
do
just
that.
come over to the point which I wanted a bit of your suggestion and your guidance, like for all of us, the younger team who are in PreSense, is
Mm.
one. Yes, there's a lot of flaws that we do. We've not been that. We've not been that. What should I say? We don't have that much of expertise like what you and Srinivasan sir have. So we are in the process of learning. One point. Second thing, all of us are employed and a family to take care of, and there are other priorities which kind of overlap the work which we take on PreSense. So how do we that's the reason I was just trying to ask, like, what how do we manage this? Probably we just wanted to know it as a as a suggestion or some guidance you can give us, like how can we manage both of our family, profession, and our passion to write.
Yeah. Allocate. Like, you did say you have your family, you have your job, you have so many things. You assign some time for it, assign the time for it. And fortunately, you said passion. So that means something you're passionate about, you will definitely allot some time for it. It's only when something you don't like, you tend to unconsciously or subconsciously keep pushing it away, or afterwards, maybe another hour later. But it's something you're interested in, you will allocate the time for it, allocate a time for it. And I think that the presence can be managed within that. Allocate time for it over the days or over the week, maybe the weekends. It's manageable.
Oh wow, that's so much of confidence now. So this question I'm asking for both Srinivas Gopal and Sakthi Prasanna, because I think we are the younger phase of PreSense. So both of you, please take turns to tell me, one, why do you think you want to write articles, or why do you think that writing is important? And two, how do you motivate your other peers, or do you think that writing is an expression where you can actually give your heart over? And because both of you keep writing articles to PreSense, so how much of research you do after you finish an article, how does it feel? So let's start with Sakthi Prasanna, because I think he's just written one article for us for this month. So once you put that heart and soul and you write an article, it comes out and the baby comes out. So how does it feel like? Does it actually give you the zeal and that kick to write one more article? Is it like an addiction that you want to do more? Or is it like, I'm done? Okay, take a deep breath. How do you take this?
Definitely not the last one. For me, when I complete a well-written article, well-researched article, it gives me an ultimate satisfaction. So I also see, I mean, anything that you do should contribute to someone else. I mean, in this, eZine is a wonderful platform. Many people read it, and if I'm an expert in an area, I am sharing my knowledge, which will help others. That's the way I see it. And I'm basically into CSR, and I have this mindset of contributing to those people. I also see writing the article also is a way of contribution, wherein I share my knowledge and no, I give it to people. So that's the way I see it. And so I feel when I write an article and complete it, it's a contribution from my end. And a well-written article at the end of the day gives me ultimate satisfaction. That's what I would submit.
And does it give you probably a trigger to write another one? Does it actually continue to be a continuous process? Or you find out some reasons, kind of, does the channel break? Like, does the flow break?
No, one thing what I can actually tell here is it is always better to write from the area of your expertise. I mean, if you as now that you are a continuous writer in eMagazine, definitely there will be chances that you would kind of research and write an article which is completely out of your work area or focus area. But actually, to get into the flow, it is always better that you pick articles from the area of your expertise. And there you will have the control of the subject, that you will have there you will have so many things to say. So the flow will be there. The topics, you choose your topics because you know that, and the flow will be there. Just that you need to kind of sit, no, dedicate the time, and no, religiously finish the article, no, whenever you have the time. So that actually you should focus on. And whenever as I think it is a contribution from my end. There is no, I mean, if I finish one article, I always think about writing what could be the next one, because there are very various many topics that I that in my field of area that I can actually kind of write. So
Actually, one more thing, Prasanna, if I can intervene, off late I started feeling the good thing about social media is everybody's become so expressive. They become so expressive in their voice. They become so expressive in articulating their feelings. Like just a happy birthday has no more happy birthday on Facebook. There is one poetry which is attached to it. It is like self-written or taken from somewhere, but there's some research done on that. And if you want to write something on the Twitter in that limited words, you know how to phrase what you actually want. So I think this generation, like right now, we are very active on the social media. Writing shouldn't be that much tough, like how it had been much, a few years before, because that time we never had an opportunity to write, unless and until it's your professional work. There, it's your formal emails. But probably on a social cause or probably speaking your heart, we've never had a platform to write. I think now it's become a part of our lifestyle, that something or the other we keep writing on the social media. So I think this is one good thing that the social media has triggered over us, that expressing ourselves. And you rightly pointed, express your expertise. And I think that's perfect. I'm like, once you start writing your expertise and your point of interest, then obviously that's an addiction. You want to write more, you want to say more, because there's much more you've researched. Probably you want to put it in another article. So now coming to Srini. So Srini, there's a reason that like similar minds join together. Like I think only those minds can vibrate together, and I think PreSense is a wonderful example for that. So all of us here, for some reason, we want to spread positivity. We want to write good things. We want to kind of de-stress our day with some nice writings. That's actually a therapy, for a matter of fact. And at the same time, there is other social commitments. It's not too great when you say to somebody that, you know what, I am like sitting and writing an article. It's not too cool to do it these days. I'm like, they feel like, okay, what is it you're doing? You're writing an article types. So how do you face that? Point one. Secondly, what triggers you to write an article? The same question I asked Prasanna. What triggers you to write an article?
Mission accomplished. This is how I feel every time when I write an article. Because what happens is there will be a deadline. Every month, 22nd night will be that EOD. Before EOD, we need to submit an article. If we are not submitting, no one will ask anything. But our name will be there. So we will be assigned, okay, Srinivas, artificial intelligence needs to write and all. But after 22nd also, no one will ask. That makes me very embarrassed and write an article overnight. Okay. So every time I feel, for a sake of joke, I'm telling mission accomplished and all. But every time I feel very responsible, because PreSense is something where I have not seen Abdul Kalam in my real life. Okay, for us, you personally know, our living Kalam is Prime Point Srinivasan, sir. It is like he is communicating with us. He is like he might look aged, okay, but trust me, his brain is much younger than my brain, my child brain also. So he is like, day before yesterday, I told him about something regarding a Zoom thing and all. He completed everything. Today morning, he was telling from the start to till bottom what happened, how things changed and all. So that gives you more responsible. A bit of fear will be there, because at my age, whatever that I write, I am taking everything from the Google, Wikipedia, everything. There will be a certain bit of fear. What happens if we give a wrong information and all? Okay, but sir used to very easily, he'll say simple things, whatever. 5 hours, sir told me, read, rewrite, return, respond, I think. Okay,
Please
still I
just be
remember
a
all
bit
those.
louder, just a bit louder.
Okay, now? Okay, I follow this 5 hours to write my article. I feel very responsible. Okay, after writing an article, I used to display to everyone. I wrote an article. I wrote an article. Like it is like after 10 years, I'm sitting with a paper and pen to prepare to write an article. So this is how my family also say, oh, Srini is doing something very great and all. After 10 years, he's taking notes and all like that. Still in a learning curve.
I know. See, before I asked Srinivasan sir something, so because it's a PreSense team that we have today, there are mistakes that as a younger team that we all do. Like I'm starting from my point. I'm like, so I would want all two of you, both of you also to tell me the mistakes that you think that you've been doing, and probably what will be the corrective measures that you think that you're going to do, because we are now stepping into the 200th edition. So as an editor, if I say the mistake which I do is I every time think that I should contribute one article every month, which I'm not doing. And I think this 200th edition, I want to take a promise to myself that I write one article every, edition, so that I justify being in the PreSense team and taking up the role of the editor. And the second mistake which I do is probably not keeping up to the timelines, which I'm always being scolded by Srinivasan sir. So probably that's one thing that I really want to correct. Probably keep it as my target. When we do the 300th edition, then we come up as a wonderful magazine from where we are today. So next to probably Prasanna, what would you say? Like probably this is something which I could have done, which I'm capable of, but I didn't do. But I think I will be doing it in the years to come. So what would you take it as some promise to your own self?
So maybe plan plan the writing in a better way. Sometimes it so happens, Srinivasan sir, as you know, he's a stickler for deadline. So sometimes you just pull till the last moment, and then in one sitting you just given it. So there's a chance of your article not being well researched, or so there is that chance. So that point I want to improve. Maybe on a weekend, dedicate a particular time for this. Give yourself enough space, do your research, and write the article the way you want. That's what I want to improve.
Yeah, Srini, so what would you say?
Same like a wardrobe story. Planning, we all plan very nicely. This team is, our team, how we work. Planning and all awesome.
Most of the plan, most of the time,
Executing is a biggest problem for us.
I'm going to make this, I'm going to do that, and I don't enter the kitchen. So it's exactly like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is the problem with
Executing
most
things.
of our generation, like of our age. I think there's so much that we keep planning. By the end of the time, the planning is done, you're exhausted. And there's no time to put that plan to. Yes, ma'am.
If I may butt in, it's not to do with generation, it's a human trait.
I fully agree. Even seniors also can do that. It's not that juniors or seniors. It is seniors also can do. The procrastination, if it comes, it is a common disease. I call it as a disease. The procrastination can affect anybody.
I think that's one thing that PreSense helps us to kind of not do, because we have a very scheduled timeline, which we have a very respectable lineage. We've been doing excellently well, and we have a very high credits attached to our column.
Yeah, why our Badri sir, for the past 2 years, for more than 2 years, he has been writing an article on Indian freedom fighters. We have also released e-books, also compilation of e-books. And he does a lot of research. Even I was joking also the other day that even the government of India wants to know who are the freedom fighters in a particular state. They have to refer only to Badri. So much of research he has done that, and he is continuing, and he has kept a reserve. And then before the due date, before 15th of every month, he will send a dispatch that article, because that is the time schedule that he maintains. Probably he has a time, and persons may have a time, but the thing is, one should have a willpower to write, do a research. That extraordinary work that Badri is doing it.
Sir Srinivasan sir, now we need to hear from you. If there is some mantra that you would want to preach on us? Yes, we know few things that, yeah, like aaj karna, abhi karna, and what was that? With you, without you, in spite of you. Yeah, that all we know, and we've now seasoned to that. So now you tell us. Now we are in this 200th edition. It's a beautiful start. It's a very respectable start. So what would you say? Like, how do we have to take it forward? Where you want to see PreSense, and what would you how would you want to kind of guide us, and what is your points to us, to the younger generation?
This is a PreSense as normally only the awards are given only by the traditional big magazines. But now today, we have seen for the past 13 years that eMagazine is giving the Santat Ratna Awards for the outstanding parliamentary. This is one of the greatest thing that we can think of. Because now, from 200th edition, we have to do a lot of research on the mentality of the mindset of the readers, how they are, what they want, the brevity and other things, the new environment, how we can use the AI generated content or the researchers. And these are all the things, now we are entering into a new phase now. But it will be more challenging because it is not going to be a traditional article. Even that's what I have been telling, even the print media people, they have to change over. Everybody has to change over to the new environment. And I am prepared to change first. I'm the first volunteer to
But what I'm
change
saying
it.
is that it would have been equally challenging even when you started it, right? Because that time this concept was not even there. So when you had started it, it would have been challenging for you at that point. So I think the challenges have been a continuous thing, right?
No, challenges, every time the challenges are different. Because at the time in 2006 when we started, the challenges were totally different. Because at that time, the digital magazines were not that much popular at all. That digital magazines were not known. And even today, I can proudly say that all those digital magazines or newsletters started in those times, nothing is available today. Today, we are the only people who are we are surviving in the market now. That too on a non-commercial basis, without advertisement, on voluntary basis. So it is all depending on our zeal, our enthusiasm, how best our team is going to take it up. Because we have to think ahead of, we have to think about the readers, not about ourselves. How the readers are, what the readers want.
So I remember having a conversation with you that probably we should take a commercial note to it. I remember we had real long heated arguments also on that, because I said probably because it is voluntary that we are having little hiccups. But why were you very strong? It has to only be a voluntary initiative. So you were never open to taking any commercial face to PreSense. Why was it, sir?
No, once when you want to go commercial, we have to change our lot of policies. Today, we are very frank on editorial or cover stories. As I said the other day during the event, we need not be neutral. Neutral in the sense without giving an opinion. We give an opinion. We give a frank opinion. But we at the same time, we are doing a research. We are giving both sides of the argument, and we take a call. We take an opinion on that. Or sometime it should be commercially when you want to go, the entire layout, entire thing should undergo a lot of change. For which I am not interested. I am interested only in what a good thing should go in a raw form to the public. Whomsoever is the reader. Whether somebody likes it to read, let him read it. If it doesn't like to read, let him put it in the dustbin or delete it. Because once when you are thinking only in terms of a hit, only in terms of a number of readers, then you are compromising on many qualities. So that's how the 200 issues, we have never compromised our quality. I can challenge, you can put any day from March 2006 till date, you can choose any issue and touch by random, and then you will find the best articles, best quality will be there. That compromise, without compromise, when you go there, why should we why do we need money? Because it's the things are going on. I say that Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpan, it's only Lord Krishna is doing it, not myself.
And Susan, ma'am, please your closing words to Team PreSense and PreSense.
treat it as a passion, treat it as an interest. I endorse the view expressed by Srinivasan as to why it should be voluntary and not a commercial thing. It makes a world of difference. You do it, you feel good, you feel comfortable writing, vis-a-vis doing it commercially. There could be a restriction. You could feel a kind of an invisible restriction based on expectations. Whereas here it's like a free for all, and you know that the boundaries are fixed by you. What you need to write, how much you need to write, what aspect you need to express, and you sure and with managing editor like Srinivasan, you know you can't go wrong. You have that freedom to express. So go ahead and only that. Yes, there will be limitations like no time and all. I'm reminded of something where they say everybody has 24 hours. It's how much time you allocate for each. That would reflect on the priority you're giving to that particular job. So yes, you have your priorities, you have your focuses in life, but this too can have a place without any compromise. So go for it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for those wonderful words. And Sakthi Prasanna, you want to say something to close?
Yeah, so first of all, a big congratulations to the team. We have come to 200 editions so far. I know it will not be an easy run to get to the next milestone, but I mean, under the guidance of Srinivasan sir and no guidance, I mean, always supportive Susan ma'am, and with a wonderful team in hand, I'm sure we will do our best to reach much more milestones. So all the very best to our team.
And Srinivas Gopal, man with few words. Few words.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I know it's just a beginning. And thank you so much, this entire team. You know, it was more like a freewheeling conversation that we just spoke our heart out, and it was so nice to know all the goods and bads. And there's so much of self-realization. In fact, I never thought there's going to be much of self-realization we're going to talk in this conversation. But I think it's very, very important when you take up responsibilities. As Susan ma'am rightly said, it is just in your intent to take time or not take time. And most of us, whenever we give reasons for not doing a work, we know that we've not prioritized this work over the others. I think now, PreSense now coming into the 200th edition, there's much more responsibility for this entire team. And there's so much to learn by the younger team from our seniors. So I'm sure we take up this opportunity to learn really good stuff and be such a positive person. What Srinivasan sir, I'm sure there cannot be another Srinivasan sir for sure, but at least there's much that we can learn from him to ensure this good work keeps going with the same dignity that we all maintain for PreSense. And thank you so much, Srinivasan sir, Susan ma'am, Srinivas Gopal, Sakthi Prasanna, for your time. And I hope all of you enjoyed watching us talk. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya, for excellent moderation.
Yeah, thank you, Priya. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.